Most people buy an ADV bike imagining this: mountain roads, Ladakh trips, weekend touring, freedom. But after a few months, reality becomes traffic, service bills, bad roads, spare parts, city riding. And suddenly the question changes from which bike is exciting to which bike actually makes sense to own. Because in India, an ADV bike is not just something you ride, it's something you live with. So in this video, we are not talking only about power or top speed. We are talking about reliability, comfort, service reach, ownership experience, and which ADV actually fits your lifestyle. Let's start with the bike that probably introduced half of India to adventure riding: Hero Xpulse 200 4V. Now on paper, this bike doesn't look impressive. The power is modest, highway performance is average, and yes, experienced riders eventually want something bigger. But here's why people still love this bike. It feels stress-free. You can take it on broken roads, drop it on trails, use it daily, and ownership still feels manageable. That matters more than people realize, especially in India, where roads can go from smooth highway to moon surface in 5 minutes. And Hero's service network is a huge advantage here. In smaller towns especially, accessibility matters a lot more than premium branding. But if your riding is mostly highway touring with luggage and high-speed cruising, eventually the Xpulse can start feeling underpowered. And that's usually when riders begin looking towards something bigger. Now, this bike is interesting because almost nobody talks about it emotionally, but owners rarely regret buying it. Suzuki V-Strom SX. And honestly, that says a lot. The V-Strom SX is one of those motorcycles that quietly does everything well. Comfortable seating, smooth engine, good mileage, relaxed highway performance. It doesn't try too hard to be aggressive. And for many riders, that's actually a good thing. Especially if your riding is mostly daily commute, weekend rides, occasional touring, this bike feels mature. But there's something buyers should still think about. Compared to Hero or Royal Enfield, Suzuki's service network still feels smaller in many places. Not terrible, just something to consider if long-distance ownership support matters to you. Because the bike itself is reliable, but peace of mind also comes from knowing support is nearby. Now we come to the bike that completely changed the ADV conversation in India: Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. And honestly, Royal Enfield understood something very important. Modern riders don't just want speed anymore. They want experience. And the Himalayan delivers that feeling extremely well. The road presence, the touring comfort, the suspension, the community, the aftermarket support. Everything around this bike feels complete. That ecosystem matters more than specs. Because ownership is not just about the machine itself. It's also about support, accessories, touring culture, resale confidence. And Royal Enfield has built that better than almost anyone in India. But this is also where buyers need to be realistic, because the Himalayan is not perfect for everyone. In heavy traffic, the size and weight can still feel tiring, especially for shorter riders or people riding daily inside crowded cities. And some buyers fall in love with the touring fantasy without thinking about how they'll actually use the bike 90% of the time. That's important, because buying an ADV bike for one annual trip and suffering daily traffic the rest of the year doesn't make much sense. Now comes the bike that almost every enthusiast dreams about riding: KTM 390 Adventure. And honestly, this bike is brilliant. The performance, the electronics, the highway capability. This thing feels alive, especially on open roads. But this is also the bike people should think about the most before buying, because the KTM demands a certain kind of rider. It rewards aggressive riding, touring, high-speed confidence. But if most of your riding is city traffic and casual commuting, you may never fully use what this bike offers. And premium ownership expectations also increase here. Not necessarily unreliable, but maintenance, riding style, and ownership experience feel more serious compared to simpler ADVs. This is not the kind of bike you buy casually because the spec sheet looks exciting. And honestly, many people realize that only after buying it. So here's the simplest way to think about it. If you want affordable ownership, rough road comfort, easy maintenance, Xpulse makes the most sense. If you want smooth daily usability, comfort, reliable all-round performance, V-Strom SX is the smart choice. If you want touring experience, strong road presence, community and versatility, Himalayan 450 is probably the best all-round package. And if you want pure excitement, performance, aggressive touring capability, KTM 390 Adventure delivers something special. Because the best ADV bike is not the one with the highest top speed. It's the one you'll still enjoy owning after years of traffic, service visits, bad roads, and real Indian riding conditions. And honestly, that matters far more than most people think before buying one.